Okay, so for a healer role, you have High Tide and you have Tsunami Strikes. Those two are staples. They have to be there. Bubble. Honestly, I feel like you might even use Tempest Guard, even though it's a 450. But the bubble is a situational thing. Because this is going to be used for your oh shit moments. Honestly, I feel like it's going to be there for for your raid bosses, not your raid ads. But hell, I could be wrong. I mean, seriously, Solace of the Sea. Everyone's going to want Solace of the Sea. Everyone wants to see the jellyfish. Jellyfish are just badass. Soothing Mist. Your priority heal. You have your priority heal. You only have spot for one more. So you have your bubble that you can switch out with your other shields. I mean, even in healer roll, it's the alert one. So shoot, stay with bubble. So you have bubble. You have your priority heal. This is your AoE heal for everybody. What are you going to put in your last one? You can put Blessing Depths because it does use High Tide. Because High Tide makes Blessing of the Depths a heal over time. High Tide gives the Soothing Mist a healing increase. Bubble doesn't really benefit. So that Soothing Mist does High Tide. The other ability, Mending Wave, does High Tide. And that's going to be an alert wide healed. There's another one. Blessing of the Depths was it. I mean, even Tempest Guard, that's your raid shield. And that's going to give a heal at when the shield pops. So I think Mending. I definitely think that High Tide needs to have. It needs to have a different feel for it. High Tide should have a DPS role that's separate from the healer role, because again, you are sacrificing. You have your AoE heal, and then you have your priority heal. This AoE heal can be reduced. I mean, Solace of the Sea is definitely going to be a raid heal. Definitely a raid. But you have Mending Wave. Yeah. There's actually a lot of stuff here. So Mending Wave is a 300. It's an alert-wide heal. Solace of the Sea, healing over time. Blessing of the Depths. It heals you and the group members, but then it also turns into a heal over time if you have High Tide. And honestly, you would probably need Riptide, now that I think about it as well. Because Riptide is an instant cooldown remover. So that's 3 abilities that you're locked into your healer loadout that you have to use. Because I'm sorry, who's not going to use Riptide? Who's not going to destroy those cooldowns that everyone hates so much? Even if it is every 12 seconds. Because again, it can be spammed every 12 seconds. It's a quicker. Yeah, healer roll, that is something else. Something else. I just don't know. I mean, even with Soothing Mist is your priority. That's basically you need to have that. It's for you and the person who's getting hurt the most. Your bubble can be replaced with your raid bubble. Yeah, High Tide needs to have different abilities with it. It is honestly a great mechanic. A great mechanic to be used. But it is hindering. It's hindering the healer role. Where it really makes the healer role a very active heal, because you are attacking with Tsunami Strikes. You're not just using your weapon to regen power. That's another fucking thing. You're using power. That power needs to go to heals. And here's the thing. We're doing this discussion. We're talking about this, but we're talking about High Tide being a staple. I think High Tide, in the developer's eyes, is only really supposed to be, hey, you have this extra buff. It's not something that's supposed to be needed all the time. It's there as an extra course. But as players, we're going to make it a need. Why are we going to make it a need? Because it's fucking there. Oh, it's not there, but it's here. Nope, not here. There. It's there. It's power interaction. If you're in high tide, that means I need to be in high tide all the time. We are putting the demand of high tide being there all the time. But developers have made it to where, hey, you're not going to have it all the time. It is going to be a situational thing. And that's probably where they have that mindset. It's completely situational. You are not expected to use high tide every freaking time. As a healer, you are not expected to. So in that 30-second cooldown, you have 30 seconds of you just used high tide and you used Blessing of the Depths. So now you have 30 seconds of that cooldown of high tide going down. And your Blessing of the Depths, 12 seconds I'm guessing, of heals over time. And then you're using your other heals. And then when high tide is off of cooldown, you're going to wait for that oh crap moment, and then you're going to hit high tide and use another ability. I think, and I'm pretty sure I go to the forums and we're going to hear the same stuff that even Catmull was asking, where it needs to be a lot longer. But I think that's where the developers need to come in and step up and say, hey, this is where it needs. This is how it's supposed to be. Excuse me. It's how it's supposed to be. Treat high tide not as a priority, but as that save yourself moment. Save yourself moment. We all have it. I mean, we bubble. I mean, it bubbles there. But for Mending Wave, do we really need Mending Wave to do a critical heal when he's not when that person is not taking a lot of damage? No. And if they don't want us to use high tide, they should not give us so many heals that work off of it. The same token could be done where on the other side of that coin, Capmon, again, if we have high tide, we have a heal, or we have two heals that uses high tide, we can make the same argument. Well, why are only two heals using it? We need to use more. I use that argument on the DPS side because only two abilities, Shark Frenzy and Aqua Lance, those are the only two DPS abilities that use Shark Frenzy. At the beginning of the stream, when I saw it, I'm like, there needs to be more. So you see that they say that the coin is on the same side. We have one side that says there's too many abilities that uses high tide, and the other says that there's not enough. So we're kind of in that same argument of damn if you do, damn if you don't, and that's where the developers are. We have so many abilities that use high tide. Use them correctly. Use them how you want to as a player. That's where my mindset is. I think for me as a healer, I would probably, in a raid setting, I would probably be using high tide and Tempest Guard like that. If I'm in a boss fight and we're all taking some extreme damage, I am sure enough going to use Tempest Guard. I'm going to use high tide, Tempest Guard, and then start doing some small priority heals, some probably group heals. Probably the group heals mainly. And then let the shield absorb all the damage from everybody. And then at the end of that shield, everybody gets a heal. Not sure how strong that heal is, but the high tide is a situational. If we take away high tide from abilities, players are going to really be mad about that. Whereas we have options. That's what this is. Options. We have that mindset that we see high tide having this power interaction, this buff to a heal or this buff to a damage, and we're now going to make it a priority. Especially on a healer, we're making it a priority that it needs to be a lower cooldown. It needs to be a lower cooldown. Needs to have a longer duration than 6 seconds, and we should be able to use it instead of a one and done. Well, that's not where the developers have it in mind, and this is my issue in these situations, because right now what we're doing, we're all playing the guessing game. I'm guessing as this is how the devs intended it. But I'm also doing this because I've had my experience with other MMOs. In World of Warcraft, when we were introducing a new class, basically a new power, we get a write-up on how the developers intended the power. Instead, here, we have developers giving us, hey, this is water. It's inspired by these guys. Here's your outfits. Here's your abilities. Go. Go out there. Go have fun. Go find out. Go question everything. That's not how it needs to be. When it's coming on to test server, we really need to know how the developers really want it played. Because if we don't know how the developers want it played, we have issues. We have everybody doing every different thing and saying that they're right and what they're doing is golden, and it's not intended. I'm mainly just use 2 shield powers, so water won't heal just shield anymore. And I do apologize. Welcome to all the new followers. I apologize. I'm in a rant. That's what I do. I mainly just use the 2 shield powers, so water won't heal just shield anymore. I don't know what that means. I mean, I'm guessing you're saying that you use Bubble because it gives the group members, and then you also use Tempest Guard in there. Which means you gotta be careful as well because the shields don't stack up on one another. So if the tank is using his raid shield, and for some golfer reason, the healer shield goes on to him, that healer shield will override his tank shield, and it's a mess. Shields do not. The shields don't. It's already been. No, the shields do not stack on one another. Basically, the new shield overrides the other. Because there are already tests about that. There were testings during the revamp that it turned out to be bad. Man, I can't wait to test out healer as well, and maybe I'll be able to do that some other time. Catmon, do you want to try going to a duo? I don't care if you heal or DPS; it really doesn't matter to me. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying out this DPS loadout. And thank you, Dragon. I keep trying to get a job at Daybreak, but they just won't let me. Okay, oh, so you mean that the shields on water stack? If they do stack, that would be nice, I guess. I'm not really sure why you need the shields to stack, but I mean that works, I guess. Oh, actually, what's the animation look like? Tee hee hee. I mean, honestly, it does look like it does fit together, doesn't it? I mean, it does look like they actually flow very well. Okay, so the water shields do stack. Okay. No, water is a combo-esque power. Honestly, water is its own power. I don't really think... It has 3 water combos, but it doesn't really make it a combo power. It's almost like Atomic. But, well, Atomic actually has more combo powers. It has 2 forms of doing damage. One's combos... Honestly, the combos actually fit well into the loadout itself. You can't really do the combos by themselves. That would be a lot of power to use. It does, doesn't it? I mean, the shields look amazing, though. I absolutely love the shields. Just love it. So let me actually check. Current effects bubble. Absorb 100%. Oh, sorry, Catmon. instinct. Yeah, so Bubble was first, but Tempest Guard wasn't even there. So at least here in this menu, it doesn't show that they're... Well, actually, doesn't show Tempest Guard at all. Okay. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to hit that like button and also hit the subscribe button to watch more videos when they come around. And if you want to throw a little extra support, head over to my Patreon page. And now, just watch a little bit more from the other playlist videos right below.